Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I had this box of hodgepodge, eclectic, this potpourri of projects that I never finished. So I've been a little under the weather, so I just took those projects and finished them up and put them all together in this video. So watch and see which one is your style. Maybe none of them are your style. Let me know if you like one of them.
My first two DIYs today are going to be made with items I got at Aldi on clearance. This first one is a really pretty vase with a little wooden stand, and it was just a little too plain for my taste. I'm going to put it in my bedroom, and so I got these rub-on transfers on Amazon, but I've had them in my stash for quite some time, so I don't even know if they still have them. I don't remember what they're called. I don't even still have the packaging for it. So I started thinking that I could just cut some little slits in the sides. You see I had cut a little slit over there on the left, and that I could just make this go around this curved surface. So I tried to make the cuts a little deeper, but it didn't really work that great for me. I mean, it worked okay, but you're going to see here in a little bit when I get this top part kind of pressed down, I'm going to cut that bottom part of the stem off. And then I'm going to lay it over to the side and come back to it when I get the top part adhered. So I'm just taking that little clear plastic tool, and I'm going to just press it all down, and then I'm going to pull up just like you apply any kind of transfer. It's stuck to the glass really good. These things are so nice and thin and so pretty, but I was trying not to mess the transfer up getting it off of this curved surface. So I would cut the transfer in pieces and apply in pieces before I ever got started next time. You'll see when I do the other side that that's what I did. So I just kept working with it, and a little bit of it got wrinkled, but I was okay with that because the wrinkles made the leaves look like they were supposed to be that way in some weird way. Okay, then I just burnish it down with the little piece that I peeled off, the little clear piece I peeled off right there. That piece is what I use to burnish with. So, yep, see, just rub it down, and look how pretty. And then I'm going to put a piece of paper towel on that wood so it doesn't scratch up my transfer. And then, see, this time I got smart, and I decided where I wanted it, and then I went ahead and just applied the top part. Cut that little baby in half. Then I'm going to apply the top part. Then I'm going to come back in with the second half and lay it down. And I didn't get it lined up completely perfect, but it actually really looks good once I get it down on there. And I'm going to just press it all down. And look how pretty it turned out. I think it's really pretty. It looks beautiful on my dresser. Let me know if you've ever done a transfer on a curved surface like that. Okay, I got both of these at Aldi, and they were marked down to $1.29 each. That's great. They're like thick. They're kind of heavy. I don't know that they're real wood. They're probably the pressed wood, the best I can remember. Anyway, I'm only going to use one of them in this video. So I'm just sanding because those letters are not really raised, but they kind of had a little bit of a texture. So I just went ahead and gave it a little sanding with my hand sander, my sanding block. I'm using my little vacuum, tabletop desktop vacuum to vacuum up all that mess. Now I'm going to use some Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm just going to brush it all over the bottom of this. And I took a piece of white cardstock and I put a transfer on it. Now, the day that I was making this, I told you I was a little under the weather. I had a bad reaction to a supplement I took. Why I decided to start a new supplement when I didn't feel well, I don't know. But anyway, I have a really sensitive system to taking anything, even supplements. And I wasn't feeling the greatest this day. So I didn't get a lot of stuff on camera. And so I'm going to apologize for that. But I just put that transfer on a piece of cardstock, white cardstock, and then I glued it to the back of this little shadow box. And then now I'm just adding some little tiny bits and pieces of greenery that were just, you know, I never throw anything away. So these were just bits and pieces off of something else that I had cut apart. So then I just used that pretty little crochet lace ribbon that I love so much because it is so me. And I'm just made a little bow, and I'm just going to glue that little bow to the top. And that is done. I think that would be so pretty in a bathroom or even on a dresser with some perfume bottles sitting around or something. But I think I like the way that this turned out. So now I'm going to flip it over on the back, and I painted it with Skeleton Key by DIY and did not show you the rest of it. Thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So I dry brushed some white on there, and then I had that little white home wood cut out from Dollar Tree, and I painted it white, glued it on there, and then I had that ribbon that I just cut some little strips, pinched it all together, and made a little bow. So there you go. That's the back side of it. Super easy, super simple. So let me know which one do you like better, the back side, the inside.
I hope you're enjoying this video, and I would like to take this time to introduce myself. If you're new to my channel, my name is Kendra, and this is Late Night Creations. And it's Late Night Creations because my last name is Night, and I create late at night. I would think that would be a no-brainer, but there you go. That's for you. So go ahead and continue watching this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I am so close to 5,000, that benchmark. So go ahead and help your girl out, and let's get on with the rest of the video.
Okay, so this little piece I picked up at Dollar General for $1, and it had some little words on the front, and I didn't show you that I painted the front of it with weathered wood, and I took off the beads that were attached to it. So I used Weathered Wood by DIY on here, and I get my DIY paints, all my DIY products, brushes, everything from Sammy over at Unicorn Dust Designs, and you can get that on her website if you are interested, and there is her link will be in the description box below. Now I'm going to use the faded burlap. I put the names of the paints on a little sticky piece of vinyl and put it on top because how I store mine, that is just easier for me to tell what color they are. So I'm just doing some dry brushing on here to make the weathered wood look even more weathered. Okay, so this is just white chalk paint, and I'm just adding a little bit of texture to it. And then I take the bead, and whatever was left on my brush from the white and the faded burlap, I just brushed it on there. And the other bead I did with that brown. Now, these little laser cut minis I got at Dollar Tree last year, maybe year before. And so I just picked which ones I liked to go on this little house. Just going to take some burlap string, twine. Why did I call that burlap string? Okay, some twine, and then I decided that that needed a little bit more dry brushing on the edges because that's how I craft. And then I'm going to take some painter's tape. I'm going to make myself a little needle, if you will, and poke those beads through there and take the tape off and tie a knot on the end. I like to use the painter's tape because it comes off pretty easy, and then you don't destroy your twine when you're taking that tape off. Now I'm just going to do a little knot on the end, big enough so the beads don't come off. I'm going to test it to make sure that the beads don't come off. And then I'm going to use this cute little ribbon I've had in my stash for a long time from Dollar Tree. I have several rolls of it because I love it, and I take it to Sunday school to use for our crafts because the kids love it too. And so I'm just going to pinch it in the middle. I'm going to use a piece of that smaller twine I get in the automotive section at Dollar Tree and tie it up in the middle, and then put that on the top. I think I actually put another little piece of baker's twine in the middle of that too. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. We'll see at the final reveal if I did or not. I can't even remember. Okay, now I'm just going to glue these. I was going to paint them And I tried to paint one with some just kind of dry brush faded burlap on it, but I didn't like it. I liked them better just in the raw natural wood. So I think this turned out really cute. You could put a magnet on the back and put it on the fridge, or just have it like this for a tiered tray. Oh yeah, I forgot. I made this little decal with the word family. The little, the little bird family or your family. I wish I would have done it in white. It would have shown up a lot better. But I think that there's something sweet about the fact that it's kind of subtle too. Okay, and then I forgot to seal it with with some wax. So I did clear wax it off camera with DIY clear wax. So that is this one. And then I had these two little houses. These are not houses. One's a house, one's a coffee cup. And so I've been wanting to do these for a long time, and I had them in the box of DIYs to do. And so here we go. So I'm showing you that I boo-booed. I'm leaving my boo-boo in here because I cut that. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did this. But like I'm telling you, I didn't feel good this day. Look, I've got the chimney on the wrong side because I cut it wrong. So I cut another one out and cut it correctly. And then I'm just using that purple school glue to glue it down, and using plenty of it. And then I'm going to take a emery board that I get at Dollar Tree. It's pretty coarse. I would never use this on my real nails. And I'm going to just sand that extra off. Then these little rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree. I've had them in my stash for a while too. And I just picked out the words that I wanted and I arranged them on there. Oh, but first, we're going to use a little dark wax by DIY and just kind of dirty this white up a little bit to make it match the top part of that scrapbook paper. I love that scrapbook paper. Every time I go to Hobby Lobby, I buy several sheets of it because I use it a lot. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to put the rub-on transfers. So I just arranged it however I wanted to arrange it, and then it didn't even turn out how I had it arranged. But anyway, it turned out cute, and we put some joy, some love, some grace, some happiness, and we want to give all these things. And when you give these things, then they come back to you. That's how God is. We don't give to receive, but when we give, we do receive. And then I had a little gap there at the end of the word smile, and I ended up taking a Sharpie marker and drawing a heart in there. So this is this little calendar. It's one of those, I don't know what you call it. I don't know what you call this kind of calendar. I want to say perpetual calendar, but I don't think that's right. And yeah. So then here's the other little calendar. And it was a coffee cup, and it was cute, but I just wanted it to be a little more simple. So I put 3 coats of white chalk paint on here to get it good and coated. In between the second coat and the third coat, I did take my sandpaper and sand it a little bit smooth because I had too many brush strokes in there. There you go. And you could still kind of see the words through it. So this is after the third coat. Now I am taking faded burlap and layered chocolate and going to make a dark drink. Or it could be hot cocoa, it could be coffee, but in this case it's going to be coffee because I made a little decal on my Cricut that says coffee. So we're going to put that on the coffee cup as soon as it dries. Then I'm just going to use some dry brushing techniques here. A little bit of gray around the edges here, a little bit of white on the blue, just to give it a little bit more dimension. Here comes the decal. So I did it in a navy blue and just created this on my Cricut, simple little decal. And I did it in the HTV heat transfer vinyl because I enjoy doing that way more than I enjoy the sticky adhesive vinyl. I am going to show you this time that I'm clear waxing. I'm using the DIY clear wax to seal that paint up because I didn't use the DIY paint for the cup, I don't think. I think it was a Rust-Oleum. But the DIY paint will reactivate if it gets wet, so we want to protect it by sealing it. So there's that one. So do you like the house or the coffee one better? Or maybe you don't like either one of them, I don't know. But which one did you like best? Okay, and then lastly but not leastly, this I picked up at Dollar Tree a while back. And I think it was really cute just the way it was, but I had an idea for it. I wanted to make it a little more maybe farmhouse looking. And I did end up sanding that middle stripe. It's not really a stripe, but we're going to make it a stripe because it didn't. The paint was just beading up on it, so it had to have some kind of seal on it. So I did about 2 coats of white chalk paint, dried it with my heat gun really good, sealed it with some clear wax. I don't know if I showed that, but always seal it with clear wax. Then I put this little checkered ribbon, made a little ribbon. I got that ribbon at Dollar Tree a while back, and every time I find this ribbon I grab it because it is such a good quality ribbon. It's wired and it's super thick. Now here I'm going to clear wax because I forgot to before I put the bow on. And then I'm just going to put that little piece that was in there back in there because whoever ends up with this can put a picture or a note or whatever they want to on that little clip.
Thank you so much for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. Most of all, remember to be still and know that He is God.